Dear students and my worthy colleagues, very warm welcome to Dr. Zia Ahmed YouTube channel. Today we shall be talking about the students which are getting education at BS level in universities or at colleges. The question is how in this age when so much material, so much information is available all around, how one should study smart or one should continue to make as much hard work as the people used to do when only books were available, what kind of strategies should be adopted, especially in the presence of artificial intelligence in 21st century. Let us proceed and see what does this video has more for us. In the introduction, we have 4 points. Number 1 says, smart study matters more than hard study. It is the age of being smart. Technology and the progress in scientific researches has enabled us, along with the internet plus the computer sciences available and computers themselves available, have made it possible to do the things smartly. So if we are doing the other things smartly in our life, same should be the case with the studies, that they should also be done smartly. There are some challenges for the BS students in Pakistan. They have large number of courses, and these courses have a very high value content. All is not taught in one go. It remains difficult because of multiple situations and problems and reasons that the students are not taught the full content of the syllabus. And even if they are taught, the students may not be able to grasp the whole. As a result, the problem comes in their life. So I am going to suggest here what is the best way to study smart. For example, one of the things is that the balance should be created between the traditional way of learning and teaching along with the modern learning strategies. And perfect and ideal balance can make our students study smart, gain more marks, and to become important and significant in the profession for which they are studying. How all this can be accomplished? In order to do so, the very first thing is that we must understand what is smart study. Smart study means effective time management. I mean, as the essay Why Boys Fail in College suggested, that the boy would spend more time in the presence of the open book rather than reading the book. Same thing happens that we have number of digressions, cell phone, the media apps, we have number of digressions like that, and because of which our time is wasted. But if we make an effective management of time, that within the 60 minute of 1 hour, we have decided that we shall be doing our study for 20 minutes or 30 minutes or even 10 minutes, those minutes should not be given to anything else, only for the sake of studies. One of the strategy of the smart studies like that. And then we may be going for quality, that good books, good material, authentic material, and effective material may be read instead of sifting through all kind of materials. So amassing more information is not necessary. Amassing quality information is more necessary. In the same way, we must be able to use modern reading technologies and methods. We must be able to use these tools also, the modern gadgetry and the tools, so that we may be able to grasp more in the shortest possible time. And then comes critical and creative approach. That should be the part and parcel of our education system, that every student should try to be creative, should try to be critical. He must ask the question, must create something new, and that new thing can be created only when he understands the things thoroughly. So that is the way. If we follow this one, I mean, we manage the time effectively, focus on quality, and use modern tools for studying and reading, and then have the critical and creative approach, then it can be called the smart study. This smart study at the BS level needs that the student should have a good understanding of, for example, we can do BS English. It can be further divided into literary subjects or linguistic subjects. The student in the modern and classical literature should be read by the student. Same is the case with the linguistic research. Skills should be developed among the student. Student may be able to write academically, and also he may be able to communicate effectively. By academically, I mean that he should not simply write simple layman sentences, but he should be trying to write something academic, something beautiful, something attractive. And in the same way, he must learn the communication strategies in order to make an effective communication. This thing, when he's doing, it is very much necessary for the BS student that he should be doing it in a cultural perspective. He cannot and should not go out of those cultural perspectives. These are some of the challenges that the student of BS English may face. They need to understand these things. And then these challenges in the Pakistani context become broader. For example, we have in most of the universities and colleges old and traditional methods of teaching. The pedagogy adopted by the teachers is mostly old, and that is not suitable to the student of 21st century. So it means that we are trying to teach the 21st century student through the methodology which may not be even suitable in the 20th century. And in the same way, resources, the electronic resources, digital resources, and the books, they are mostly beyond the access of our student. Limited access is given by certain universities, but not all can do this. Latest developments of the field are not acquainted unless the student himself makes an effort to do so. Internet distractions continue to happen. Sometimes the cable breaks, sometimes the government and authorities break it, and sometimes different challenging situations make the internet break. And as a result, it is not possible to sift through the provided information. Language barrier is another issue for the students. Some of the students may not be understanding English language better, and so therefore they leave those contents aside which they cannot understand. So some of these challenges, the broader perspective, make the life, academic life of the BS student difficult. There are some strategies, however, because of which it's possible to cope with the situation. For example, first of all, the student should read not simply for the sake of reading, but for the sake of active reading. By active reading, I mean one paragraph, if it is read, then notes should be written on it. The kind of linkages should be adopted on the paragraph. In the same way, heading and subheading on the paragraphs may be added. Annotation, that means, should be done. And then the student should be able to summarize the same paragraph. If this is done, definitely the whole content of the paragraph will be understood in a very short possible time. Moreover, the students should get access to digital libraries like HEC library, repositories of HEC, and then Gestor, the famous website where the most of the researchers access. Google Scholar should also be in the access of the student. Our student most of the time even don't know what these things are. So therefore, familiarization to such kind of websites which are academic and totally useful for the academic studies should be familiarized to our students. Similarly, study groups may be formulated because in groups it is interesting and competitive to have more learning with the peers. And then productivity apps such as Notion and OneNote, these are the productivity apps. These should be used by the students. Through the help of these apps, they can become more productive as well. So some of these strategies, if practiced, studies can be made smart also. We must be able to manage our time as well, time and energy also, and that is can be done through some of the techniques. For example, Pomodoro technique for focusing reading. This is a kind of technique developed in order to in order to do the focused reading that can help the student to read focusedly instead of distracting here and there. In the same way, the student should have a weekly planner of studies, and that planner should be followed strictly. It is clear that it's difficult, but still, if it is followed, a lot of study will be done. The student should be able to prioritize the assignments in reading. He should know which the thing he has to do first. Of course, in the BS level, there may be many teachers and many assignments, and the student has to cope with that. It can make him confused also, but then the students can prioritize which assignments is necessary, which is urgent, and that should be followed by the student. In the same way, students should not try to cram the things. The student should try to understand the things. Cramming will definitely provide a lot of problem to the student because it's time taking, and when we try to do so in the last minute, at that time it is even more problematic. So understanding the things is far better as compared to cramming of the things. Technology is the 21st century norm. Everywhere the technology, especially the computer technology, that is entering, and therefore it should be benefited from. For example, there are many online lectures, there are websites, there are the kind of organizations like MOOCs and the Coursera, edX. These are some of the websites which are totally academic, and a lot of information and the methodology is there to help the teachers understand as well as the students understand the thing. So these technologies should be leveraged. And secondly, AI tools of summarization and vocabulary building should also be used. Now, instead of, uh, you know, trying to find out suitable words or summarize some of the passages, number of AI tools have come forward which can make a summary for us. Especially at that time when the things or the pages are very long and it is a lot of time, and we just to understand, we can summarize it. And by summarizing, we will be able to get the same information which we will be getting after reading with the hard labor all those pages. In the same way, we have many academic channels on YouTube. These academic channels are very helpful in learning about literature and linguistics. These should be accessed by the student. In the same way, we also have some of the language learning apps. Like one is Grammarly, that is able to correct our grammar and sentence structure also. Quillbot is also one of the academic chatbot. It will also help in order to change the errors, or the correction of errors will be possible through these. So the technology should be used by the student in order to facilitate him, save his time, and make his studies even more smarter. 21st century skills for BS English is very much necessary. 21st century demands that critical thinking and analytical writing should be adopted by our student, because by doing so the mind or cognition would be at a very high level, and the possibility of learning will increase. In the same way, while doing everything, the research ethics should be the norm, should be the acceptable rule of the students and the teachers, and they should be able to, if they are, for example, quoting somebody, proper reference should be given. For this purpose, citation skills may be adopted. In the same way, we also have to go for interdisciplinary learning. If we are learning literature, we should also go for psychology and sociology, and sometimes we may be able to go to the other subjects as well, like political science and the Pakistan studies, which may connect us more with the people or the literature that we are following. In the same way, the communication skills should be developed through multiple presentations in the classroom, debates in the classroom, and the blogs. These are some of the ways through which the students can enhance their communication skills also. So in that way, these are some of the ways through which we can improve our quality of reading in the shortest possible time. This should be called as the smart reading. In conclusion, we can say that smart study is the balance of tradition and innovation. Here, technology used wisely can make a lot of difference, and it will help us avoid the distractions. We will be able to develop some of the lifelong learning habits that will be helpful all the time. And therefore, we can conclude in the following words by saying, study smart, not just hard, to become a critical voice of Pakistan in the 21st century. So students, I hope so that some of the benefit has come to you people out of this video. If so, do not fail to hit the subscribe as well as the like button. You can comment also. Sometime I may be responding to those comments too. So thank you for watching. Hope to see you in some next video.